What's the big thing? It's still loading, darling.
No, not
yet. There we go. Here we go. Live! Yay! Right, surely I should have a big thing so I can see what we're doing. Hi! Hi everyone! Thanks for joining today. I have got this. My name's Lucy. I'm a nutritional therapist, and I've got my two lovely assistants with me. This is Oscar and Hector. So these are my children. Oscar is, how old are you, Oscar? 10. And how old are you, Hector? 9. Okay. So we're gonna show you a little live demo on how to make our own muesli, which is a breakfast cereal that we have quite regularly at home. And then these guys are going to scoot off when we're done, and I'll just talk to you a little bit about why would we go to the trouble of making our own muesli. We can buy it from the shops, or we could just have cereal or toast, or what's so good about muesli and why would we go to the trouble of making it. So that's what we're going to do. What you will need if you want to follow along or have a go at this later, you need a big bowl. So we've got this one, and a little bowl or a cup measure. So the kids have got a big bowl each, so they're going to make their own variety of muesli. So the brilliant thing about this is they can make it how they like it. So if I bought muesli from the shop, one of them would complain about the nuts that they don't particularly like. One of them would complain if it had some particular dried fruit that they didn't like. Whereas this way they can both make their own jar. So I use one of these. So when their muesli is mixed up, I just store it in this, stick the name on it, Oscar's muesli, Hector's muesli, and then they can just help themselves whenever they're ready. So what do we have here? So what we need to start with is oats. So you can use oats, but you can use other types of cereal grains. So things like brown rice flakes or quinoa flakes are quite good. These are quite new things on the market, so you can tend to get them in places like health food shops. So they're a good option just to kind of mix things up a little bit. But oats are great. They're great for kids. Kids love oats. They're a good source of protein and fibre. And unlike other cereals, so if you buy cereals like Weetabix or cornflakes or whatever, any type of cereal, generally they can have a spiking effect on our blood sugars, whereas oats actually have a balancing effect on our blood sugars, so they're actually really good for keeping our blood sugar levels balanced. So that's why I quite like oats. So I'm going to start with our oats. Oscar, so we're going to pour about, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use about 50-50 of oats to other ingredients, nuts and seedy things. I'm going to fill this, is that about half, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so Oscar's going to tip that into his big bowl. There we go. And then he's going to choose from a selection. So what I've got here is I've got toasted coconut flakes. That's what I like in mine. And I've got some mixed seeds. You can do these separately, or you can just mix them together. Oscar's shaking his head. He's not that keen on the seeds. Dried fruit rise, I've got, we need a little bit of sweetness where kids are involved. So we've got raisins. He's going straight in with the raisins. So he's going to fill this blue tub up that he's already filled up with oats. He's going to fill that up again with his other things. So it's about 50-50 oats to nuts and seeds and raisins and things. So the next he's going for these, which are cranberries, dried cranberries. And by doing this, by having this variety, we're getting a different profile of nutrients than we would have if we just had raisins alone, for example. This is one of Oscar's favourites, goji berries. So these are kind of, I guess, quite exotic to the UK. But all right, enough. So we've got goji berries. So these are an excellent antioxidant. They're a really good source of vitamin C. Cheeky monkey. Right, nuts then. So I've been a bit extravagant today, and we've got pistachios. because the kids really like them. If I was to buy muesli from the shop, it would probably have things like walnuts and hazelnuts, the kind of things that they're not really actually going to eat. So I've gone for pistachios and cashews. You don't want cashews?
No.
No? Okay. Sometimes he will have cashews, but for today he fancies not cashews. Okay, so here's his bowl.
A little bit more.
Okay.
Goji berries.
A bit more goji berries. Okay, so now you're going to put that in with your oats. Yeah, don't eat more.
Okay.
He's going to mix that in with his big bowl. Okay, so you can see now we've got oats and then his nuts and berries. Yeah? Right, mix it up.
With what?
Your hands. That's it, good job. Do you want to be pouring your oats while Oscar's doing that?
Oh.
There we go. Okay, so brilliant. So have a look now. So now it looks all the nuts and fruits got a bit powdery looking. So that's Oscar's, and he's going to be quite happy with that. And we're going to have a go at pouring it into this jar. This is going to get messy actually. Ooh. Oops.
Oh.
So carefully
Oh.
tip this into the jar.
Oh.
You can use anything really to store your muesli in. Ideally it wants to be airtight, but to be honest, this is all sort of dry cupboard ingredients, so it's not going to go off. That can just stay in your cupboard for weeks on end. You can do something like this, a tin, whatever you've got basically, just to stash your muesli in.
I want a tag for my name.
I haven't got any tags at the moment, sweetheart, but we'll do that in a bit. So there we go, that's Oscar's.
Yummy.
And he's going to enjoy that for breakfast tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right, Hector, what are you saying?
Oh.
Hector's got the oats, tip those in.
Yours.
And then what are you going to go for?
Raisins.
Right, put them in the bowl, blue bowl first, because we want to get about the same amount of your other bits.
Raisins.
Goji berries are the best. Not everybody likes goji berries. They're a little bit tart and they're a bit harder than other dry fruits like raisins.
But with milk they get softer.
They soften up when you put the milk in, yeah.
Pistachios.
You can put them all in, Hector.
Pistachios.
I was just putting more goji berries. Alright, that's enough now. Okay, so Hector's going for the cashews. So Hector likes his a bit nuttier.
I don't.
Oscar likes his a bit fruitier.
Oh my God.
This is the joy of having them make their own.
Nuts.
Okay.
Nuts.
Anything else?
Nuts.
A few seeds?
Raisins.
Okay.
What about a few seeds?
Chuck them in. A few seeds?
A little bit.
Okay. Hector's gone for a few seeds.
No seeds. No.
So I've got in here, it's just a mixture of sunflower, pumpkin. I can see some flax seeds in there and some sesame seeds. These are really good for your gut. They're so full of fibre. So he's got that in there. You're going to give that a good mix up.
Mixy.
I don't know if you can see what. There we go. Hector's getting his hand on it.
There we go.
Okay, and we can pop yours in here, yeah?
Yay!
Okay, can I tip it in? Okay, there we go. So there we go. We have Oscar's muesli and we have Hector's muesli. They're both very different. And because they have done that themselves, they're going to be much more motivated to eat that, I think, than if I'd have made it or if I'd have bought muesli. Well done, guys. Do you want to say anything?
Bye.
Do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
Bye.
You guys can shoot off if you want.
Rocket.
So it's as simple as that. A lot of people ask me about this kind of thing. Is it better to make your own or is it better to buy it from the shop? The answer is it's always better to make your own if you can. But obviously in the real world, we don't always have time. A lot of us are very busy, a lot of us are working. So yeah, sometimes you do have to make compromises. But this is one of those ones where I think it's so easy to do that, to make that muesli. And it's spending time with your kids as well, and it's getting them involved in the kitchen, which really I think massively encourages them to think about nutrition and think about food in a different way. Kids often just tend to eat things because they like the taste, it makes them feel good, it makes them feel happy. So it's important not to kind of make a big song and dance about it, and not to make them like feel stressed or worried about food, but just to try and teach them that what they eat has an impact on how they feel and their bodies, and how healthy and well they are. So just to kind of give you a little bit of an insight into why I chose some of these ingredients. So these little goji berries, Oscar loves them, and he will just keep adding loads to his porridge or muesli. These are a really good source of vitamin C, which we all know is really important for the immune system. They're a great source of fibre. So fibre is an often overlooked nutrient, but it's absolutely essential for our tummy bugs. So we've got lots of little bugs or bacteria or microbes living in our tummy, in our gut, and these are really important. These help to support our immune system and help to keep us healthy and well. They produce hormones for us, so they're really, really important. And they need feeding. Then what they really like is fibre. So these are a really good source of fibre. They're also a really good source of protein. So what's often lacking in people's breakfast is protein. And protein helps to balance the blood sugars, and it helps to give us the energy we need to get through until lunchtime. So, and that is often lacking in a typical breakfast. So if you think of a bowl of cereal, or if you think of, say, toast with something like jam, then it's really lacking in protein. So by adding in things like this, and the nuts as well, the nuts and the seeds, these mixed seeds, are a great source of protein, and just chucking those in with your breakfast, whether it's porridge or on top of cereal, that is going to give you a protein boost, and it's going to help to keep you just on a bit more of an even keel. I don't know about you, but my kids, they quite often come to me at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm hungry, what can I have to eat? If they've had more of a protein-rich breakfast, I find that's less of an issue. So, yeah, so definitely get some of those in. And a lot of these other things, these dried fruits, they've got. I mean, people worry about dried fruits, and to be fair, you don't want to go too mad with them. You don't want to just sit there eating handfuls of dried fruits, but just adding them into your muesli or porridge is going to make them more interesting for children. It's going to make them taste really nice. It's going to give them that little bit of sweetness. And it's not gonna, it's not pushing them over the edge that, say, like a really sugary cereal like Cocoa Pops or something like that would. That's going to give them really too much sugar, whereas this is just nice. And it's also, because it's got so much fibre attached to it, it's going to take longer for the sugars to be released. So that's going to keep you having more energy for longer, rather than having a quick energy burst and then you're going to come crashing down. It's going to help to keep you more steady. So I'm a big fan of putting dried fruit in for children, and getting them to pick which ones they like. Hector's only really keen on raisins, so he just had raisins, but Oscar had a mixture of goji berries, cranberries and raisins, so he's getting a bit more variety on the fruit side. But Hector's getting more variety on the nut side, because he had 2 types of nuts and Oscar only had 1 type of nuts. So this is just the beauty of letting them do it themselves. So that's my muesli. I hope that was useful. And I just wanted to say a little bit about why this is important, why it's important to me. Children's nutrition is really important. I don't want it to be another thing that we beat ourselves with a stick over, feeling guilty and feeling stressed about our kids' nutrition all the time. We don't get it right all the time. We're not perfect all the time. It's just too difficult for me in the world that we live in. But getting as much nutrient density as I can into my children, is a bit of a mission of mine. So, and why do I do that? Because it's children are growing, their brains are developing, and it's just really important that they have the nutrients that they need to be able to not just survive but thrive. And the health of the child in childhood is going to influence, it's going to stay with them throughout adulthood. So it's really important that we try to get this right as much as we can. It's about balance, of course it is. So it's not about getting it right 100% of the time. But yeah, children need protein to grow. They need it to have strong, healthy bones and teeth, and we all know that. We need it for repair. We need it for our immune system. We need it for fighting off all kinds of bacteria, viruses, and things like that might harm us. Children need healthy fats, and they're going to get that in the form of these wonderful nuts and seeds. We've spent far too long as a society being terrified of fats. Children really do need healthy fats. It's vital for brain development and the nervous system. So getting some of those good fats in. Coconut's another good one. Avocado. My kids will not touch avocado, but if I put it in a smoothie with some banana, a couple of dates, some milk, maybe even a bit of spinach, and it just tastes like a banana milkshake, they will guzzle that down. So that's how I do that. So yeah, get all those healthy fats in. And vitamins and minerals, these are important for our kind of functioning, for our processes, for our vision, for making red blood cells, for our immune system. So we need children to be getting a variety of vitamins and minerals. Most breakfast cereals, they might be fortified with 1 or 2, but the amount of different vitamins and minerals in something like this is going to far exceed any breakfast cereal that you can buy. So just looking at the goji berries on their own, they've got vitamin C, they've got iron, they've got zinc, they've got vitamin A, they have antioxidants, and the protein. The raisins even, they've got fibre, they've got iron, they've got antioxidants. The cranberries also vitamin C, manganese, which is important for growth, it's important for our metabolism, vitamin E, vitamin K, which is important for blood clotting. They even have some copper in those lovely little cranberries. And then we've got cashews, they've got calcium, they've got sodium, they've got potassium, they've got magnesium, so they've got all these wonderful minerals. So it's just, don't get too hung up about all these different vitamins and minerals. It doesn't matter that you have every single one in every single meal, but just be mindful that the more different foods you're getting in, the more different natural whole plant foods like these nuts, berries and seeds, the more variety and the more nutrients that you're getting into your child and that your child's having. So that's my number one priority really is variety, is getting my kids to eat as much variety and nutrient density as possible. Sometimes that means I have to be a bit sneaky. So if I'm making a pasta sauce, for example, I chuck loads of different vegetables in there. I'll grate the stalk of a broccoli, courgettes, peppers, mushrooms. These are things that my kids just wouldn't eat. If I just put mushrooms and courgettes on their plate, they wouldn't touch them. If I grate them and chop them up finely and put them in a sauce, they will eat them. So this is how I do it. And it's all about diversity, and it's all about nutrient density for me. So I think I've given you plenty to be getting on with. I hope some of you do go away and have a go at that muesli yourselves. I'd really love to see some of your lovely muesli jars. So please do come and show me what you've made. For those who missed it at the beginning, my name's Lucy Kay. I'm a nutritional therapist. My business is the Mind and Body Tree, so you can find my website, mindandbodytree.co.uk, or you can find me on Facebook, Mind Body Tree. And yeah, drop me a message or post a picture on my wall. I'd love to see the mueslis that you've made. Or if you've got any questions at all, particularly about kids nutrition or family nutrition, any other tips and tricks that you would like to hear about. There's a blog post on my website all about feeding kids during lockdown, because the first thing that happened to me when the kids were off school was, Mum, I'm hungry, Mum, I want food, what can I have to eat? So I had to really pull out all my ideas and put those into practice, because the kids have been at home non-stop for 2.5 months now. So yeah, go and check that out. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Scraggy Moo for having me, and it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much.